want to be a guest.
Alright.
If it's just Chang and Hoff, it's a yap and duet. Wet. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Chang Hoff podcast. We are here with our lovely guest, Aja Iman. Welcome.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, pleasure to have you on. Thank you for coming. Thank you for making a beautiful song. It was awesome. It was amazing. And I can't wait for the world to hear it. Listening party on March 28th, 2025 at Bananas Records at 7 p.m. Be there or be square. And if you're not there, go and pre-order and buy the mixtape when it's out. But without further ado, Aja, we like to start these episodes with these Chang Hoff conversation cards. This is just a regular playing card deck. We're going to make custom ones soon. But essentially what we do is we shuffle these cards. You pick three. And each card is linked to a question that we have pulled up right here. So we'll read off the questions, and you get to choose which question you answer, and you get to choose which one you want AJ and I to answer.
Fun.
So let's get into it.
Let's do it. Ooh, look at those skills.
One more shuffle for the people at home. Wait, that was a bad one. One more. One good one.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Skills.
All right, Aja, go ahead. Pick three cards, any card.
Okay. I'm ready. Let's do this one. This one. And this one.
Beautiful. Okay, so just read out the cards to us, and we'll say the question. And at the end, we'll go through all the questions, and you can choose.
All right, I got a 10.
A 10 of spades.
10 of spades.
10 of spades is, what's your boldest dream for your future?
My boldest dream.
So we'll do all three, and then you pick which one you want.
Okay. And
Next
then
card.
I got diamonds.
Ace of diamonds.
Ace of diamonds. Ace of diamonds. What's your favorite thing you've ever created?
And the last card? Two of diamonds.
Two of diamonds. What's a creative ambition you have that you haven't told many people about?
Wow.
So
those are good questions.
Your choice. Do you want your boldest dream for your future, your favorite thing you've made, or a creative ambition you haven't told many people about?
Ooh. Let's do... I would really want to do the last one, but let's do the first one because we would be sitting here for like 10 minutes. And it would be like, doon, doon, doon.
Oh, do the one you want to do.
Yeah, do the one that you want to do.
You're the guest.
We got time.
Okay, let's just do this one, the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do the first one. Can you read it to me again really quick?
What's your boldest dream for your future?
My boldest dream for my future would definitely be performing at either Camp Flog Gnaw or like Afropunk. Yeah. And I want like the big stage. So
yeah, how was that experience? Tell us how you got there and how did you feel about it?
I don't know. Like, I feel like once everyone saw my tiny desk, it really got me a lot of exposure, and my fan base just like really grew from there. And I mean, obviously, I don't think that would be it, but yeah, I think just being like a chill R&B girly that people can relate to would really get me there. Like, just being super consistent with my performances and being with like a really cool band and stuff. I don't know, I just see myself on like a really cool like kind of R&B indie stage, and it just being like so ethereal and like fun and just positive and heartwarming. Yeah, I don't know. That would be really cool.
So which performance do you feel like you performed better at? Camp Flog Gnaw or Afropunk?
Definitely it's gonna be Camp Flog Gnaw. Like, yeah. I mean, Afropunk is gonna be real cool, real chill. For like the I don't know, I wouldn't say like outcasted black people, black folks, but it's kind of like Afropunk is like that. It's like, I don't know, I wouldn't say outcasted per se, but just like I don't know, just a different black crowd. Like, it's like emo black people there, like super, alternative. There you go, that's the word. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word, but yeah, just like an alternative black crowd. So that one would be really cool and like spacey. And then yeah, we'll go like super all out for Camp Vlog now.
All right, well, when your song comes out, we got to just make sure everybody sends it to Tyler, the Creator. I think that's pretty much all you got to do, right? You just got to get your song to Tyler, the Creator. And then you're on the Vlog Now lineup, right?
Yeah, just like that, honestly.
And then you do your Nardwar and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so which of the last two questions would you want AJ and I to answer?
I think I would want you guys to answer the last one.
Well, one each.
Yeah,
Oh.
one each.
So
each.
one of us, you're asking us the favorite thing we've ever made, and one of us, you're asking an ambition you haven't told many people about.
Okay. Favorite thing you've ever made?
Okay.
Yes. And then biggest dream for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I do? I could do. I guess it's like a little different, but I could just do my biggest dream too.
Yeah?
Go
Do
ahead.
you both want to do them? Both?
Should we just all say our biggest dream?
Sure.
We're kind of breaking the rules, but I feel like
I feel like
it's more of a guideline.
Yeah. This is our show.
Yeah, true.
literally is.
Okay, Jacob, what's your boldest dream for your future?
Oh my goodness, what is the boldest dream for my future?
Maybe we should just always have this question.
I do like this question.
It is a really
Well,
good question.
I say probably the boldest dream for my future is like this, but like turned up to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole production and like cameras and people and audio equipment and all that stuff, and just like turn it into an actual studio. And then on top of like also like using the brand to be able to make cool stuff, other cool stuff that isn't necessarily just content, like actual physical products. Like these conversation cards, we've been basically testing them this entire season to make our own custom deck, which I'm really excited for. And then eventually there's going to be, you know, like merchandise, and we're also doing mixtape stuff. So like we're already starting to like get there.
Yeah.
So I'd say probably just like continuing to like grow the brand, make content, make cool stuff that we really like, physical and digital. And that's probably my biggest dream.
I
Just
love
this
that.
turn to 100.
I can already see it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Episode 100.
Yeah.
It'll be turned to 100.
All right. What about you, bud?
Mine is, what comes to mind is earlier when I was making this song with Aja, we were talking about just working with different producers, and like different producers have different skill sets. And I feel like I'm at a place where when I'm thinking about working with somebody, I can only have so many things on my plate, to where if I feel like I'm a really good fit for somebody, of like compatibility of how we make stuff, you know, I'm in a place where I can present myself and be like, yeah, I think we should work. And if not, I can be like, oh, I think you would sound so good with this person, or like you should really talk to this person. And I want to like continue growing to a place where I can just have relationships with a lot of people, and like have understandings of different people's interests, different people's skills, to where you know, I learn about what I'm specialized in, and I do those things, and I have like a good understanding of who's around and who likes to do different things, who's good at different things, to where somebody could be like, hey Jay, I have this project, I'm thinking about doing this and this, and I could be like, oh, you gotta call this person, call this person, call this person, and yeah, I guess just be kind of like a connector.
Yeah.
And then just like continuing to just build deeper relationships with more people, and just all of us grow together and learn new things and find out what we're good at, what we like, and just
The relationship plug.
sink into those roles. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so deep. I
Yeah.
love that. Aw.
So yeah.
I
So
like
if
that.
you're looking for, I don't know.
If you're looking for people, hit
Look,
AJ up. He'll know
Literally,
someone.
he knows somebody.
He knows somebody.
He knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
I definitely know somebody who knows somebody. Like if you give me
Yeah.
3 or 4 degrees, we can get you to
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
But yeah, just like being connected, and I love introducing people to each other. I love
Yeah.
yeah.
Same.
And you definitely do that already
Yeah.
very well. Like I've met so many people just through you.
And the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
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 It's kind of,
Certified.
it's hard at first though. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard at first to just like go somewhere and not know anybody and not know anything about anybody. and you just gotta talk to one person and say, hey, what's your name, and see what happens after that.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of crazy to like, I've been throwing events since maybe 2021, and I first started throwing open mic events. And like, it's funny because I have friends who are like best friends now, and they met there. And like, I met Tati there, and now look, we're performing together. Like, it's so crazy to know that even when you're not trying, just you being somewhere and you knowing certain people or just bringing people together in a certain way, you're like helping them connect and like find their way in a sense, just like helping them just a little by little. It's kind of crazy to know like the effect that you have just by wanting people to feel connected and like come together and create cool stuff. Because it's like, being an artist, sometimes you're gonna feel alone or misunderstood and stuff, because like it's not something that the rest of the world really gets, you know. But it's like when we come together and we're able to be in a room together and like be shy together, just like try new things. Like today, it's, I don't know, it feels amazing.
Be goofy goobers
together.
together.
Literally, we've been in here
like
being goofy.
Your Tampaish broadcast channel, I actually met Paloma through that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was like
Wow.
She made a post that was like, hey, looking for musicians to work with, and I think you shared it in there, and we messaged through that, and like there was like a gap, and then we emailed some songs, and then eventually we met up and like started working in person. But yeah, we've made like a lot of stuff since then, and it came from her post getting shared in that broadcast channel. So
Stop.
yeah,
I don't know, that's just so cool to hear that people are
yeah,
using it for themselves, and just like, that's so freaking cool. Like,
Yeah.
thank you for telling me that.
yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's the thing is like, I might have a few examples of like tangible things, but there's so many people that have met new connections or like strengthened connections from either your in-person stuff or the social media stuff that like you'll never hear all those anecdotes, but
exactly,
they're definitely out there.
yeah.
A lot of those
I
stories.
love it for us guys.
Yeah, it's nice to build community and bring people together.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest joys. And also just like people interacting with your creations at all. It's just like mind blowing.
It is. It's crazy. I love it. I love it here.
Yeah. All right, Aja. So tell us who is Aja Iman, and why should people care?
Wow, that's a good one. I don't think I really spoken about myself in third person like that, but Aja
Who are
Iman. Well, you know, funny enough, Iman is not my last name, which a lot of people assume. But I am an R&B artist that honestly just really loves this shit. Like, can I guess?
Yeah.
I just really love this shit. Like, I breathe it. I don't know. I wake up and it's instantly like a radio in my head. Like, I just could not live without music. You know what I mean? So growing up in like a military family, I was always told like, music is not going to make you money. Like, it's not going to be, you know, do it because you like it or whatever. It's a hobby, but it's not a passion. You're not going to make money off that. And I just never believed that. Like, I never believed that. And so now being able to like do shows with my friends and my mom being front row, like the Prison Fest that we just did, my mom is like front row, and I'm like, dude, like we have this crowd, we're getting paid to do this. It's like showing people that R&B is not dead, 1. 2, like R&B is diverse, and I want to be an example of that, like a vessel of that. Yeah, so I'm just a really passionate R&B artist. I'm an events coordinator. I make jewelry. I make juices. Like, I just do so many things, and I think I'm going to continue to do everything that I love, just to show people, like, you don't have to just do one thing forever. Like, you could do as many things as you want to do and just have so much fun with all of it. So,
Yeah, I really like resonate with that, because I feel like in terms of doing just all the things that you can, all the things that interest you, I think that we all three pretty align a lot on that. So it is really cool to see you like doing your thing, and like just how diverse what you do is.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. So tell us more about Tampaish and your events coordinating thing. You said that you started in 2021. What made you come to wanting to do that?
Yeah, so crazy enough, I started throwing open mic events at Drip in Ybor when they had the smaller location. And John was just like, I don't know, I was really cool with him. I really loved the shop. And so I would just always go to see him when I'm in Ybor. And he's like, you know, like, I know you sing and stuff. Like, I need to have more events here. Like, do you want to do open mic? And I was like, I've never done an event before. Like, I guess I could try it. And just month after month, like, it would grow and it just became a thing. And like, it would get so filled up in there. It wasn't a big spot, but like, there just wasn't enough room. And I was just like, wow, being able to sing somewhere and then also bring people together and make them feel comfortable enough to also share their gifts with poetry, rapping, and singing, it just felt so special. And I knew that I wanted to do more of it. So I took like a year off because I moved to Miami. But then when I came back, I had such FOMO while I was in Miami. And I was like, oh my God, all my friends are doing all this cool stuff. Like, I'm out of the loop. So I come back and I'm like, oh, all my friends are doing cool stuff and they're supporting each other. But it doesn't really feel like a lot of community. Like, I want to know what's happening. Like, I see everybody going to events, doing events, but like, I want to be a part of it. Like, I want to know stuff and I want to be able to share to other people like, hey, this is happening. Like, are you going? You know, so crazy enough, when I got back in like 2023, I got back, I think. Yeah. I just got together a group chat of just like people that I knew were doing shit in Tampa. And I was like, hey guys, I just feel like there needs to be more community. Like, how are we going to do this? And everyone had such big ideas of what they wanted to do. And I was like, wait, I don't have the mental capacity for that. And I think we're getting a little over our heads with what we want because we want such big things for the city, which is amazing. But I'm like, guys, like, how are we going to do that? Like, there's just so many opinions, you know, there's so many opinions on what we want to do. And like, I was like, I just can't handle this part, right? How about, okay, they just started this broadcast thing. How about I just make a broadcast? And if you're doing something, just send it to me and I'll put it in there, right? I don't remember what I had it named first, but I was having a conversation with someone and I was like, yeah, like, I just want to share things that are like in the Tampa-ish area, you know, like St. Pete, Clearwater, all that stuff. And they were like, Tampa-ish. Okay. Like, why don't you just name I was trying to find a name for the broadcast. And they were like, why don't you just name it like Tampa-ish or something? Like, I was like, Tampa-ish. I guess. I was like, yeah. So I look up the name on Instagram. I'm like, does somebody already have Tampa-ish? And I saw Tampa shit. And I'm like, okay, well, this isn't Tampa shit. Tampa shit is Tampa shit. Yeah. This is like Tampa-ish, like the Tampa-ish area. You know, Tampa Bay, like St. Pete, Clearwater, Miami even. Like, people that just come into Tampa and they want to find Tampa-ish things to do, you know, like, yeah. And it just became that. And so I made a little logo and like, it's been over a year now that I've been posting things in the broadcast. And you know, like AJ said, like, you're able to go to different events and like tell your friends and be like, hey, you going to this? And then you just meet people. And I think with the networking events, I just wanted to be able to throw events again, but I didn't want to do open mics because I felt like we have so many open mics, which I absolutely love. But I wanted to elevate the experience of people coming together and like meeting each other. And we're all kind of shy as artists, right? I wanted a space that kind of emphasized you not having to be so shy and like kind of getting you out of your comfort zone. So that's what the Tampa-ish night markets are. You're able to support small businesses by having the vendors there. And then you're also able to come and it feel like an open space. You know mentally what you're preparing yourself for to come and like network and actually be in a space where nobody's like mean or like looks mean, really. You know, everyone's coming with the same idea. Like, I know I'm gonna come here and meet someone new. Like, I know I'm gonna come here and find new businesses like in the city and stuff and meet new artists. So I know that was a lot, but
yeah, but that was awesome.
That's the idea.
Because it's so true that like I also left and came back at some point. And before then, I didn't really go out to many things here. But coming back, and then especially after like AJ started like Tampa SoCal and we started going out to more shows and stuff, like I was like, wow, there's like such a vibrant community here in my hometown that I like never even thought about existed. Like, I know there was shows and this and that, but like I just never interacted with it. So actually like being a part of it and now doing like this show and actually like really feeling like we're a part of this whole community, it's really awesome. It's really special.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we can all try to build Tampa up to be what we think it should be.
Yeah.
Because definitely still underdogs in terms of like Florida cities, but I don't know how much longer that's going to last.
I mean, I feel like there was a shift. I don't know when it happened, or maybe it happened gradually, because I left for school in 2018 and came back in 2023. And my understanding of Tampa when I left in 2018 was that I didn't have that much interest in being here. Just I would just rather be other places with like more
stuff to do,
just more lively or more bustling, like artistically and culturally. But kind of coming back and stumbling onto like some things that were going on, I was like, wait, hold on, I didn't know.
What's this?
I didn't know about all this. I didn't
Exactly.
know about, and then like kind of coming across some of the Instagram pages, some of the organizers, and you kind of figure out like what the spots are, what the things are, and then you start seeing all the same people at things, and you're like, oh, okay, this is the
community.
This is the team we got here. This is all. This is all just artists going to each other's shows, but yeah, I remember. I think the first time I met Aja was at some El Encanto thing. It was like their anniversary or something.
Probably.
And you're like, yeah, come to the night market. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, it was cool. It was night, and there was like pizza, and I saw that was the first time I saw April showers. I was like, wow, that was really beautiful.
Yeah, that was a cool night.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like it was organized in a way that felt like you're going out and going to an event, but especially that one at Factory on 5th felt like we're just like in somebody's yard.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like
it's like a cookout.
Yeah. It felt just like a kickback, or like a cookout where you just like walk around like, hey, what's up? Like, you see the pizza? You see the
Crazy enough, that was like the weekend that Nana's got shut down. Yeah. So typically we would have had vegan food all night. Yeah. So we just had to opt in for like 10 boxes of pizza, and everyone was so hungry, and they're just like, where's the pizza? And I'm like, I just ordered it. You guys ate it? So like that was good that, everyone was enjoying it. It was still a fun night, but it was just one of those like, we had to move quick because we still had an event to do, and it turned out so well. Yeah, it turned out so well. Yeah.
So what do you feel like the evolution has been, or what do you feel like you've learned as somebody who's thrown a lot of these kinds of events? Like you were saying earlier, at some point you decided you didn't want to do open mics because you wanted to open up to more networking, more social kind of things. Like, do you have any learnings from throwing a lot of stuff, or anything you want to move towards? Or
honestly, I think what kind of pushes me in the direction that I'm going is really trying to understand the needs of the city and like the needs of the artists in the city. Like, we can have parties. Cool. Yeah, we can have like, open mics. Awesome. We have a lot. We have different variations of open mics as well. So we have a lot of that, which is awesome. I don't think that we could ever have enough of something. You can always have so much more, which is awesome. But I try to think about what we don't have and what we could strengthen, or what we have little of and what we can strengthen. And then how I could help as many people as possible in one space. That's what I think most about. So I think, honestly, what I've learned is that it is going to be trial and error. And I also try to, every event, think of what I could do differently, what I really liked. Like, well, I guess I don't really tell people that much, but I do have a degree in psychology and sociology. So I kind of like study how things go. And even when I go to my other friends' events and stuff like that, I kind of study what works, and kind of use that. But it's always going to be trial and error, and just trusting your gut and not overthinking things. Like I tried to leave that in last year. Like, oh, what if this doesn't work? Like, I'm like, no, fuck it. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But like, let's see if this works. So just asking for help too, I had to get really comfortable with that, because people really do want to help, So yeah, but trying to push it in the direction of what I feel, stepping back, looking what we could use, as creatives and in the scene. Yeah.
And what have you seen and witnessed that we don't have that you feel like we should have, or we have very little of that we need to do more of?
That's a good one. Honestly, I feel like anything that we could possibly be lacking in a sense is already kind of growing. Like, I feel like any little spots that we maybe lacked in like 2 years ago, people are already filling those spots in. So honestly, I feel really good about where we are right now as a city. Like, everyone's really supporting each other. You know, money is flowing in between us. I think maybe a little bit more of that, like trying our best to circulate money in between ourselves, and maybe trying to be more resourceful in that sense, like trying to help each other instead of like maybe gatekeep stuff like with that. But I can understand why people would, in a sense, you know. So but I feel like the city has been really supportive of each other. I don't know. I can't really say that there's anything I feel we're super lacking right now. That's a good question though. I feel like the spaces are getting filled in. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
What about for this last event? I think the last one was the shuffle one. Have you done something?
Mm-hmm.
Coming off of that event, was there anything you felt like you learned from it, or that you want to try, or like what was your reflection and feedback on that for the next one?
Definitely, I want it to be more engaging. So I think like the song game that we played was so fun. Everyone wanted to be included. They were just like, the next round we do, let me do it. But first, when I was picking people, I was like, hey, we're gonna play a game and you'll win a prize after. Like, do you want to do it? And they're like, no. And then afterwards, they're like, let me get up there next, you know?
Wait, what was that game? I think I missed that part.
So we played like a finish the song game. So basically, Solo would play a song, and when he stops it, you have to finish the lyrics. And like, you have to finish them, you know? And if you don't, then, you know, you're out. But yeah, it got really funny because he started playing like twerk songs and like city girl songs based on the people who were left. And yeah, it was just so fun. Everyone was just honestly engaged in it, like having fun, laughing, because like people are like mumbling the words, and I was like, no, that's not it. You gotta go give them a round of applause, you know, like just making it really engaging. So I want to make it more engaging because, like I said, like I know that us artists can be a little shy, you know, and it is hard to like network after COVID, you know. So I want to have more engaging experiences, like crowd engaging experiences outside of just having performers, you know. So that's definitely something I want to do more of. But I don't know, it was great, honestly. Yeah, besides that, yeah, it was awesome.
So if you have anything in the works that you don't mind sharing, tell us.
You guys want tea? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I can share. If you don't have something you want to leak, I can share just like open ideas.
Okay.
Because I think I want to throw an event, and you should definitely be involved.
Okay.
I think we gotta throw like an R&B jam.
I also feel that way. I think we did talk about this.
Yeah, but like one thing I really like about the way we do this is I like to just like say an idea out, you know, and maybe we do it. Maybe somebody hears it and then they hit me up. They're like, hey, I heard you talking about this thing.
Yeah.
You got to talk to so and so.
Yeah.
But I mean, the concept is pretty much have a live band. You know, have maybe like a couple featured artists that come with a set ready, and they do their set, and then it opens up to like whoever wants to come.
do it. Yeah.
You know, come in, write down a song on like a, you know, because there's jams, but it's usually instrumental.
Yeah.
It's usually somebody goes up and writes a song, and there's like a house band,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that would be fun, and I think there could be an event around it too. Like
I
it can
think so
also be a market. It
too.
can also be.
Yeah.
And that can like kind of soundtrack the night, but maybe there's other elements to it. But
Yeah.
I like that.
but,
Let's
yeah,
talk about it. Yeah.
I'll put the band together.
Okay.
Definitely.
Watch out for that.
So,
Let's do it.
Yeah, because I do like events where there's like multiple spaces that you can go to, because like going to like a concert, for example, is really fun, but then I feel like it's really hard to talk to the people around you, because it's like either you want to pay attention to the person performing, or it's like there's music being played, so it's like, huh?
Exactly.
What'd you say? And that's, you know, so I like this idea of an R&B jam with a
Yeah.
something around it, so then
Yeah.
there's
We'll
like
see. We
those
don't have
different
to-
spaces.
We could talk more another time, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I just like
definitely
to
will.
put stuff
In the
out
works.
there.
In the
I like
works.
that. In the works,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
I'm excited. That sounds fun.
What else? I'm trying to think if there's like another idea I want to just put out into the world. I don't know. Nothing yet.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like we do need to have more like R&B focused events.
Yeah.
So that would be awesome.
Well, definitely.
And I
Like,
kind of have a space that we can use already.
Okay.
So
Okay.
well,
I love it when a plan comes
we can work
together.
stay tuned, guys.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Asia, I want to know more about you as an artist. So I know earlier you said like when you wake up, it's like radio turns on in your brain and it's just like constant music. And I resonate with that a lot because I feel like there's been plenty of times in my life where it's like that, where it's just like music in my head 24/7. You can't shut it off, which I'm not complaining about. But so tell us about like how you started becoming an artist and like your early on inspirations with music.
Yeah, okay, that's fun. So I've been singing since I was probably like 5 years old. I was probably singing in the womb, to be honest. But yeah. Yeah, I started singing around 5, in the choir, in the children's choir. I think like most R&B artists do. My mom was the children's choir director at church, so she would always have me and my brother singing. And a lot of people don't know this because I manage it well, but I do have anxiety, especially like stage performance anxiety. So I was definitely up there like mumbling stuff, you know. But I would say my mom is such an R&B person. So very young, she had me on like Alicia Keys, Music Soul Child, Eric Badu, Flowetry, you know, people like that. And I'm just in the back, like in the back of the car seat. I'm like, dang, that got a little rhythm to it, like, you know. So literally I remember like I said, my family's military, so my family would be deployed and I would be in Texas with my family. And I just remember being in like first grade and they have the radio on and they're playing no one, and I'm just full blown singing it, and they're just like, ooh, Asia's singing again, like sing it, Asia, like, mind you, and I'm in like first grade and I just have no shame and I'm just singing it. Like, I was just goofy, so goofy, and just always singing. Like, it's just always been in me. So I want to say I wrote my first official song when I was around 17, Mood. So I only have 2 songs out right now. Don't believe me, but yeah. So my first song, Mood, I wrote that in high school. I actually wrote it like kind of for my mom because there was no reason I should have been feeling the things that I was feeling at that age. I wasn't, bro. But crazy enough, hopefully he watches this, Ty Dante. I met him on Instagram. He's actually from Amsterdam. I don't know if he's really, I think maybe he's been to New York a few times, but besides that, like, we've never physically met. But yeah, I met him on Instagram. Don't know how. I was just making little friends on Instagram when I was a kid. And he just started making me beats. I'm like, yeah, I sing. And we would be on FaceTime super late because of the time differences. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to make you these beats. And he made me the beats. And I'm like, I like this. I'm going to make a song to this. And I just would. So Fantasy and Mood, he made both of those beats. He doesn't even make music anymore. He's a designer now in Amsterdam, being cool as hell. So yeah, that was like my first thing. Like, I've just always been singing all my life. So I just knew like there was no way I was going to live without music, you know? And like, even when I'm driving sometimes, I'll just randomly get a freestyle in my head and I'll just have to like turn my voice memos on and just let it all out, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I could say that I get annoyed with thinking about music all the time and stuff because it gets a little repetitive, but I don't know, I just could not imagine myself not singing. Like, I'm not happy when I'm not singing, you know? Like, I have to constantly surround myself with music. And that's why I'm also so grateful for AJ, because like just meeting him has helped me so much with like getting my first band together by myself. Like, he was the first one to hit me up and I was like, actually, yeah, I kind of do need a band. Like, I did want a band. And then from him literally seeing the flyer and being like, hey, do you need keys for this? Or like,
I was like, hey, do you have a band?
And I'm like, No.
You're like, no, I'm gonna figure that out.
And he's like, we're like,
Okay, let me know.
yeah. He's like, well, I can do something. Like, I was like, okay, well, let's do it then.
I didn't realize too. I thought I was just gonna like play keys accompaniment,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, oh, okay, well, this person, and then it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you helped out so much with that,
Squad
like
came
with
together.
the drum kit and just like the direction and stuff. Like, we had a really great squad. So we'll be doing more hopefully in the future. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, things came together.
Yeah.
And I feel like I noticed with you, like, it seems like you're in a chapter where you're really like coming back to music with a real intention and a real commitment to it.
Yeah.
And definitely through that rehearsal process, you were definitely a band leader. And then there's a lot to that, because there's a musical element, but then there's also like everybody has a life, everybody has a schedule, everybody has a certain amount in the tank.
Yeah.
And it's often empty and never full, and and I think you're somebody who's was kind of conscious of everybody and was helping us all to feel like we had enough to get the job done.
Yeah.
But and definitely the way you treated those rehearsals, I could tell this is something you really care about, and you want to push yourself and you want to push people around you.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody in that band definitely grew from that process.
Yeah. I think my biggest thing was like having a mixture of people who have a lot of experience in what they're doing, and then us, a few of us who this is our first time, but like it was such a good learning experience because like you guys had so much patience with us not really having as much experience. And then like we all really like bonded really well, so that made it so much easier, thank God. So I'm just super grateful for you guys. Like that was an amazing experience, and I learned so much about myself and like how to work with people and like really trust you guys, and like knowing that you want this as bad as I do, and like vice versa. Like it was just really cool. It was super cool. It was very vulnerable, and yeah, like you said, I think this definitely is my year where every year I make a list of what I want to accomplish every year, and one of those things is always I want to put out an EP. And guess what I don't do every year? And I'm looking back at my goals and I'm like, I did everything, but I didn't do that. Why not? So I'm like, this year, my main focus is being a musician, like being a singer. And I'm going to put that EP out for real. And I'm like, I haven't been playing about it, and it's been bringing me into rooms like this. So I'm very grateful. So thank you. Yeah.
So tell us about the EP. Do you have any ideas? Do you have any plans that you would like to share?
I have been sitting on an EP called Binary for years. So I do have songs for it. And they're songs that I've been wanting to release forever. And I'm still adding a couple more songs to it. So I have the cover art for it. I have the name. I have the list of the songs. It's just a matter of me recording them and getting really comfortable with how I want them to sound, because I'm super specific. And then, it'll be out this year. I'm hoping, like, I don't know. I can't really tell you guys a date yet.
Say the date.
Say the date.
I don't know. Maybe like,
okay,
I would say maybe like.
At least tell us what type of vibe. Is it like a summer vibe? Is it an autumn vibe? A winter vibe?
So I want to say maybe like October. It would be like more of like a moody,
Ooh, I love
vibe.
that shit.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. But it's called Binary. It's basically, I don't know if I want to tell you guys. You want to know like what it would be about, or should I wait?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's basically a self-discovery of, binary means like kind of one thing, binary. I don't want to say binary code because I don't know too much about code, but binary is basically, something being one thing. So with me coming into myself, my sexuality, and me understanding that I'm bisexual is kind of like me struggling throughout my lifetime of trying to be one thing, like trying to only like men or like only like women. And I'm just like, actually, I think I like both. And me coming into myself was like, this is who I am. This is what I like. And I can find love in many types of ways, you know, and like I don't just love one type of person. I love myself, and I love my family, and I love my friends, and I love these people in this type of way, you know. So it's just kind of like me coming into myself, my identity. So it's very vulnerable for me, but yeah, that's what that'll be. Binary, out this year sometime, maybe October, we'll see. Don't bully me, guys.
Well, before then, you do have a new song coming out March 28th.
I do, and I'm so excited.
So that'll that can be an appetizer.
Yes, it's an appetizer while they wait.
We'll drop some singles along the way.
Yeah, we will. I'm excited for that.
So excited.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the other stuff that you do. You listed off a bunch of other stuff. What would you say, like, after being a musician, being an event coordinator, then what would you say?
Musician, event coordinator, I don't know. Okay, so I've been making jewelry for about 5 years now. I think I started during COVID. So a lot of people don't know, I make insane waist beads. I wire wrap jewelry, so like crystals, and like make really cool earrings and bracelets and all that stuff. Like these bracelets are my protection bracelets. I don't take them off. I've made my family some. They don't take theirs off. So I'm really big on like energy and protection and things like that. So a lot of people don't know that I keep crystals everywhere, in everyone's car and everyone's purse, and like my purse. And so yeah, that was kind of like, after music, that was like my first, you know, release, and like, you know, a big thing that I did. I make juices during the summer. Like I have a juicer, and so that's been really fun for me. I don't know. I love trying new things all the time.
What's your go-to juice? Like if somebody at home, they just got a juicer, they're trying out some ideas.
I think the easiest one would be, you can make like a natural Gatorade with watermelon and sea salt. You could use like pink Himalayan sea salt or regular sea salt. So you'll just do water or coconut water, sea salt, and watermelon juice, and it's so good. Like just not too much salt, because you don't want to like do too much.
So this year, you're going hard into music.
Mm-hmm.
You're an artist. You're making things. I think one thing that comes with taking your art seriously is, what are you doing outside of that serious music practice to kind of rest, recharge? What are you doing that's not, it's not that main pursuit. It's your thing you're doing on the side for fun. What's restful? What's playful? You know, where are you having your playtime, your rest time, your downtime?
I do crossword puzzles because I'm an old lady. I did just get a Lego set, a money tree, so I'm excited to make that. And I play a lot of Animal Crossing and Hello Kitty on my Nintendo Switch.
Wait, what's that? There's Hello Kitty on Switch?
Yes.
What is that
freaking
like?
Good. I'm just excited. So it's kind of like Animal Crossing, but just like Hello Kitty characters, and it's just like really cute. Yeah, I love it. I think it was already on like the iPhone, like what is it, Apple Games, like Apple Arcade. They had it there, so now they just put it on the Switch, and it's amazing.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's fun.
What about Stardew Valley? Have you tried Stardew Valley?
No, I think you told me about that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my next purchase.
It's like Animal Crossing, but more of a rabbit hole, I think. Just like all different crops and like all different, you can fish and you can, yeah.
It is kind of deep, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, beware though. If you don't have the time for it, maybe stay away, but.
That's how I feel with Animal Crossing right now. Like, I'm pretty sure my house has roaches, and all the animals are mad at me because we don't stretch every day anymore.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
It does.
It's a lot of commitment to visit the island and maintain it every day.
You know?
But when you have those times where like you're really on it,
it's
great.
It's hard to get off of it when you're on there. You're just like playing it. You're just like, oh yeah, I got all my fish. I got all my wood. I got apples and stuff. Like, I'm gonna take this to the museum. Like it's crazy.
There's a song on this mixtape. Julia's song has some Animal Crossing samples, so we got some.
Ooh.
Yeah. So look out for that one.
We do.
Making this new thing. We're calling it Bug Pop.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Bug Pop.
I
How could I
like
forget?
that.
A little bit of everything.
How could I forget?
A little bit of everything. It's
I
definitely
love
been
it.
a broad tape.
I love
But,
that.
nice. Yeah, Animal Crossing. That's fun.
Yeah, so I feed my inner child as much as I possibly can when I can rest, but I don't get a lot of rest. So I know it really sucks, but when I do, it's nice. Sometimes I do just like decide not to do anything and just stay in the house and just like, watch shows and just buckle down and just enjoy my me time, because you have to recharge from like being around so many people all the time. So yeah, I try to do that as much as possible. But
yeah, I think too, I've seen a shift in some of my friends that at a stage in their life where they decide to take music as like a serious pursuit. Sometimes it stops being like the fun recharging thing and it becomes kind of a stressor that there's, some pressure on it, and you got to find something else to be that kind of let go and recharge. But I don't know. We all find different balances.
Yeah, I do want to find something. I mean, this is fun to me. Like kind of like not so much pressure when it comes to music. Like coming here and just making something from scratch and just off the dome, like freestyling with you has been really fun, and it doesn't feel like like work per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the way we've been doing songs for this too, it wasn't even intentional, but now that I look back on it, it is kind of set up to like challenge somebody's idea of how long a song needs to take, or like how many vocal takes you need for something, or because there's definitely a lot of people who have that project they've been sitting on for a couple years and they're trying to get it just right. Somebody I don't
the shade.
Somebody I don't know.
Shade.
I don't know who they're.
But
is that person in the room with us right now?
The thing is, that's the more common, like that's the regular. This is the irregular thing. Like the way we did it today is the weird way. But yeah, no, I'm a fan of like trusting the first instinct. Yeah. I'm a fan of like, because if you think of like a music artist releasing music to their audience as like a conversation, where like you put out something and then the people who listen to you have thoughts on it. They, it blends into their life in some way, and then the artist kind of receives that feedback, and then that informs the next thing they make, and then those people feel a certain way about that album. And then, so I feel like I like to operate in a way where we're having like an active back and forth.
Yeah.
Like if I'm texting somebody, I want to be like, I don't like, don't leave me on red for 3 days, man. Like,
oh my God. And then try to finish the conversation. Like, no.
Yeah. Like don't respond to the question I asked you 2 weeks ago. Like, I mean, do, but but yeah, I like kind of just one song at a time, like having that conversation with, and I say audience, I really mean like it's your friends and family, and even I imagine even for artists with larger audiences, like that's still probably the feedback you pay the most attention to is like, how do the people around me, what look on their face do they have when I play this new song I just made, But yeah, so I hope that maybe people that come and make a song with me can kind of find something in that approach, even if it's not in the same way, because it's kind of extreme to be like making a song every week and then it needing to, you don't have to do that, but yeah, maybe it informs their process a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I will say too, similar thought. Like doing this podcast before it was even, there was a time when there was no music component. It was just like us.
Really?
Yeah.
Like we were just talking to each other.
Yeah.
I was like, how was your week?
Yeah, it really
and
started.
then you would answer for 40 minutes.
It really started off as another two guys with microphones and a podcast.
Oh my
and
goodness.
it just kind of like, as we continued and then we started getting guests and then.
So the thing that was so valuable about it that I didn't even expect was just having to release something every week.
Yeah.
It was, because it didn't feel like creating a piece of art. It was just like, we're just going to talk for an hour and like edit it, try to be funny if we can, try to be like creative with things. But like just having to put something out every week, then it's like, okay, I'm in this habit of like putting things into the world. And then I'm writing a song and it's like, oh, okay, like, yeah, do a little video, blah, blah, blah. It just kind of keeps you in motion a little bit, keeps the wheels spinning. So I would encourage that to people. Like, let's say you make music and you're very particular about the song you're making and you want it to be a very particular thing, but maybe there's some other outlet where you can make like a YouTube video about something, or make, you know, do the Dochi thing where you're just like, here's my thrift haul, or like, here's the book I'm reading, or like just release something and don't give it that pressure. Don't give it any pressure, any expectation. Just
put it out there
to feel yourself releasing something to the world. And then yeah. I would definitely encourage that to anybody who wants to put stuff out.
Another thing definitely that I feel like we learned during the process of making this podcast was that, like, as we said when we started, there was no concept. It was just like two guys with a mic talking about our days, pretty much. And over time, we ended up finding this concept of like, oh yeah, people come on and we make a song and we release a mixtape, and it's been really cool to do that. But that has really like informed my brain to thinking of how projects should be done, because I feel like I've always had like really big ideas for stuff, but I wanted it to be like completely planned out before I even like laid the first brick. But now during like this process, I realized that it's like, you're not gonna be able to know what everything that you need to do and all the things that are gonna happen in order for you to get from point A to point B until you just like start. So I've been doing a lot more projects recently where like the thought process is like, let's just do something, and if we just keep on making it, eventually like the concept or the twist or like the thing that separates us from the other shows that are doing things similar to us out there is like, it kind of just comes together over time. And that's not everything. Like, I'm not saying that that's the only way that it could be done, but definitely like if you're trying to make something and you want it to be a particular way, it's just better to actually start doing it than just like sitting and planning and waiting and doing like
overthinking it. The process. I definitely agree. I definitely want to do more of that too. You know, like not overthinking things as much. Like that's one of the things that I told myself I would stop doing, or like that I would leave in the last year. So I think sometimes it does kind of get overwhelming to like try to put yourself out there so much, like with content creating. Oh, I also model. I forgot to mention that. So I've been modeling since like 2017. So like constantly feeling the need to like push out stuff, you know, push out content and stuff like that can get a little overwhelming. So like that's why I usually do try to take that time to myself. But I think that when you do like kind of take that time to yourself to realize like what you need and, you know, who you're going to be and what part you're going to play in your own, you know, story, then you're able to like really push out that stuff, you know? So I think that's really cool. That's cool to know. Like you guys literally just started talking. Like, how did you even come up with that idea? Like, let's insert music into this. Like,
oh, that's a good.
So the way the music came in was, we started recording here, and we would kind of get everything set up, and we get to the time where we need to start recording the episode. But I'm like sitting on the couch. It was a different layout, but I'm sitting on the couch like making beats on my laptop. Just because that's just I would just do that.
This is what you do.
Yeah, very AJ thing.
Or it would be like while you're setting up cameras, I would just be like making a beat. And that was a regular thing. Like that's a regular thing to just make. I'm just making beats or making something.
It's true.
And then, but I think the first one was Sweetwater, which is a song off of the Volume 1. But Sweetwater was a song where I had made the beat, and I was like, oh, this goes harder than is at all necessary. And Jacob started freestyling, and that's normal. That part's not different. We're in here making beats, freestyle, like it's just for fun. It's usually never goes anywhere.
Yeah.
But you're freestyling, and I'm like running it through this vocal chain that sounds crazy, and you weren't even paying attention. You're like doing something, and I'm just holding the mic, and you're just like freestyling words. So you freestyle for like 20 minutes, and I go and like chop it up and break it down into this verse, and then I just remember kind of finishing a draft of that song and being like, wait, why is this good? Why is this?
I can't.
And then I'm like, okay, so maybe like that's kind of our warm up. Like before we do an episode, we'll just make a little song, just kind of open the creative pathways. And then we made Yappin', which is the opening track off Volume 1.
Mm-hmm.
Which that one is consciously like a song about people who have a podcast. And it's kind of just like this thing we could do alongside to promote. And then I guess at that point then it was like, let's do it with the guests. And then we had, what was after it? Was Changing the next one?
Yeah.
So then Changing was the next one where Leah came over and we are going to do the episode. And I think at that point it was kind of decided like, okay, we'll try to make a song with the guest.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so we kept doing it, and I was liking the songs, and people liked making the songs, and just kind of kept going.
Yeah, now look at you guys.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
I
love
enjoyed
that.
too, like,
Thank you.
yeah. Some of the early songs were with people who hadn't made a song before. And I think that's a really fun process because like kind of reminds me too of talking about this band we just kind of put together and played in, where like when you're working with somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience doing something, like you get a new perspective on it.
Yeah, you do.
You know, especially like for a lot of my time producing music, it was like making beats, sending them to rappers, or like going to a session with a bunch of beats. And it's this very like, I don't know, like commoditized thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like I show up with the beats, you show up with some 16s, and we kind of do this thing. But when you make music with somebody who never has it before, their eyes light up. They're like, whoa, this is how. You mean that's?
You're just like, yeah, this is cool, but I guess I'm used to this. So now you're like,
yeah, I guess
changing my perspective
cool
on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, I like making songs with people who haven't before. But yeah, and then now, I guess that's the format. Well, it'll change at some point.
Yeah. But as long as we're having fun with it and people enjoy it, like we're gonna keep on doing it.
Yeah.
It is really fun, and it's a really cool idea. So I'm proud of you guys.
There's definitely a lot of people I want to have on, and a lot of people that want to be on.
Yeah.
So we found a fit of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Crazy.
I mean, honestly, before you guys, I didn't know anyone doing this. Like, in the city at least.
Yeah.
I personally didn't know anyone doing this, so.
Probably the closest version and like one of the big inspirations is Kenny Beats The Cave.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's different, but just the idea of making something on the spot.
Yeah.
And that was something that I noticed in a lot of those episodes, was one of the artists that was on would like want to take a long time with something or want to spend a lot of time on a specific line, and Kenny would just be like, no, that's it, like keep going. You know. And so and just seeing how those songs came out in that approach, so that's something I definitely take on too, where somebody's like, oh, I don't know, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, and I'm like, no, that's good, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Like just don't give them a choice.
Kind of have to
like,
at some point, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's other ones too. There's other kind of similar things, but yeah, I feel like
you
we
have
found
your
our
own
little
though.
niche.
Yeah, you
Found our little
did,
niche.
and I love it for you guys. It's really cool.
Thank you. It has been really fun and like exciting to like be doing this and to be like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like we just like found our little thing. And it's especially exciting after like what I was saying earlier, where it's like you kind of just like start something and eventually a concept comes out, which is not something that we consciously did. It just happened. But now that's in my brain as to like, okay, at least for some things, that's pretty much how it works. It's like just start doing it, and then eventually either a concept comes that you like and you will like continue doing, or you realize that you don't like doing it, and then you can just like put it down and just like move on and do something else that hopefully that you will like more.
Yeah, just being in alignment. You guys are just already in alignment. Like it was already in your face of what you were gonna do next, and you had no idea, and you just put the pieces together. Like
looking back, it feels like obvious, but
at
the time we were kind of just stumbling onto it.
Yeah.
I think too, I just thought of Asia, something you said earlier about, you were saying Tampa's in a good place where like the money is flowing, the money is circulating. And I definitely have a thought that like one thing I noticed being in Tampa, going to shows, we're all supporting each other, you know, and I think there's enough people here that are committed to being here and to making things here that we're all going to support each other and do our thing. But I think for any kind of like, or not for any, but I think there's a thing that happens at a certain point where like the arts and music scene in Tampa becomes like a cultural export, which is kind of happening now. But like the way people think about like Chicago music scene, the way you think about, you know, or the way you think about like Memphis rappers, or the way you think of Atlanta, or the way you think of, like, I think that's gonna be the thing where stuff starts flowing in, and it's not just all of us going to each other's shows, buying each other's tickets. It's like a real wave that comes and lifts everybody up.
It's coming. So I feel like we're all preparing in a sense.
But so I think this is a cool way too of like just having a platform where we can showcase what's going on, and like artists can meet each other. We can all work together, find collaborators, find whatever, and expose it to hopefully a larger audience. Yeah. People can come and hang out and see what we got going on.
It's coming. It's literally coming. I think we're all just kind of somewhat shuffling, but you know, I think especially us who have already kind of had it figured out where we want to put our energy, we're just kind of like really pushing it and staying consistent with it. So that's been really cool to see. And it's coming. I think we all feel it, and we're all just kind of like, you guys feel that? Like, you sensing that? Like, we're all working hard, right?
Yeah. Or like literally like Doechii on the Grammy stage saying, labels, go to Tampa.
And we were like, wait,
that's us.
Wait, guys. Are y'all ready? Like, are y'all ready?
Yeah, for real.
Okay, let's get this show ready. Like,
places, everybody.
Places, literally. So now we're just kind of like, you know, shuffling a bit, but
they're coming.
Literally, they're coming.
It's like when you're cleaning up the house last minute.
The British are coming.
We're like, wait. Yeah.
Stuffing stuff in the closet. Like, don't let them see that.
Literally, we're like, okay. So this is the living room. That's where we're at right now, you know. So, but yeah, it's coming. It's here.
Yeah.
We're ready. We're getting ready. But yeah. When they come to Tampa, guess who they're gonna see?
It definitely does feel really cool to like see all the hard work and all the talent that has been putting in like here in Tampa in the city. And then also like you said, like feeling this shift where like if we're anyone who's in it right now, I feel like has that similar feeling where it's like we are on the ground floor of a building that is just being built. And that is really exciting. Yeah. Especially when I think about like this podcast and the music that we're making and like all the other projects that we're going to do down the line and like R&B jam shows and whatnot. That's like it almost feels like right place, right time. And it's like, you know, like MySpace didn't work out, but Facebook did because it was at the right place at the right time. And I just feel like that is the general feeling for the city right now, which is really exciting. Yeah. Except for the fact that it attracts so many people, and now there's so many people on the roads, and traffic is so bad, and it takes double the time to get anywhere. But I digress.
Don't even get me started. I feel like I'm in freaking Cali every day. I'm like, what on earth is this? Like, it doesn't matter what time of the day now on 275, you're gonna be in traffic, and I'm like, are we in freaking California right now? Like, am I in New York? Like, am I in Atlanta? Like, we're getting there, and I'm like, who are all these people? Where are they coming from? Like,
and why are we all on the road at 8 p.m.? Why is there traffic at 8 p.m.? The sun is down, brother. Anyway, this is not a show about Tampa traffic.
I want to know. Okay, we've talked about, you know, we got our little show. We're doing our little thing. I'm curious if there's anybody doing something, if there's any group, if there's any effort or project, or hopefully a bunch just something you think is cool that's going on that you want to share? Or
Yeah, honestly, so there've been so many cool events. I actually just went to RM Vegan last night.
How was that?
It was honestly really fun.
At
I was
1920?
yeah, I was exposed to some new vegan restaurants that they had food trucks out there, so that was really cool. Honestly, I'm just really excited, not necessarily like any events per se, but more so just seeing more of like my individual like I'll just say individual friends, like doing more for themselves, like doing more projects, putting more songs out, doing more visuals. Like Chuchito right now is really snapping.
He is killing it right now.
I was just telling him like the level of vulnerability that he's been able to portray has been really like a lot passionate, and I think it's been inspiring me and other people to like go even harder. I did just help Barely Legal with a skit. Like Andres, he's crazy. Like this next skit that you guys are gonna see is just, we were in there cracking up. Honestly, I think my neck hurts right here from how hard I was laughing. I'm like, why does my neck hurt every time I laugh? I think it's that, like, we were just laughing so hard. Honestly, yeah, I really
want to get them on. We were like had them almost scheduled, and then the hurricane hit.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
And now the show's in a place where I feel like it's very formatted for solo guests. So I don't know if we could handle. I don't know.
Hey, once you guys grow, you know, because you guys are growing and stuff.
Yeah, but we're thinking of some formats to accommodate guests.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, and then
yeah,
Jay Brown as well has been really expanding himself. Yeah, with his music. I mean, his last project was amazing. Taylor Moon has been killing it. So it's been really cool to just see like individual artists kind of do their thing. And then everyone's having like super cool events. Like I can't really like single out.
Keep going. Show love.
Yeah, definitely I want to show love to Tati because she's been like my anchor, honestly, when it comes to music, and just us learning from each other has been really cool. So shout out to Tati. For the girls have been throwing like Sunday events. So that's been really cool. Just like seeing everyone kind of find their niche has been really cool. I Am Poetry. Her open mics have been amazing. I do want to give a shout out to Solo at Keys. Because dude, he's so diverse. He's so amazing. Like he's my house DJ for Tampaish. So it's been super cool. Mila, you know, Killa Studios with Samba has freaking amazing. Tika Tour, like Donnie Love, like we have so many amazing, cool artists. You know, if I didn't name you, don't be mad at me because there's just so many. It's hard to name. We Are Sweet Girls, which I'm super excited for this upcoming performance. AJ's literally performing with all of us on the stage, which is so cool. So it's just really cool to see everyone finding their niche and like finding their place and just really going hard with it. I think I don't know. It's cool. It's really cool to see. It's a good feeling. So, yeah.
It really is awesome. Just like seeing it grow, build, be better.
Yeah.
Everything. And just like being a part of it is like so fun and so humbling.
Yeah.
Like you said too, like everybody finding their niche. Everybody finding their little specific thing.
Yeah. I do also want to give a shout out to Archive. Seeing them get back out, you know, because they took like a little step back for a second. So it's like seeing them get back out it's been amazing. Like I've watched Adri, chop that. I've been watching Adri's growth, you know, with Mew and then going to Archive. So she's been killing it. Seeing her at every event has been super amazing as well with the team. So yeah, I don't know, Tampa is just filled with so many freaking cool artists. Like we're such a cool city. So diverse.
Archive was a huge inspiration for this.
Really?
Or like it was a huge moment of me realizing like, oh wait, there's actually a lot going on. Like just seeing some of their profiles and event coverage.
Yeah.
Where I was like, this coverage is so well done, and also like all of these events and these people, like I want to find out what this is and kind of explore that more. But yeah, just the idea of having a platform and just showing their like I don't know, I'm trying to think of the phrase, but like sharing. I was trying to think of a phrase, but like
they've definitely put me onto a lot of stuff as well. So
Yeah.
big shout out to them. They're definitely a pillar in this community, I would say. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for everyone. We're all gonna do great things. We're all gonna win. You know, just gotta continue to be positive and move with love and just good intentions. You know, so yeah.
It really is cool. Filled with amazing people such as yourself. But I have a question. Earlier on, you said that you suffer from anxiety, but you do a good job of managing it. So I just find it, or I wanted to ask you, like, with the anxiety that you have, how have you navigated the projects and the things that you wanted to do? Because a lot of it is forward facing. A lot of it is you on stage in front of people, or being the head coordinator for like an event. So being like having to be that center stage person while also having to manage your anxiety. How's that been for you?
Honestly, okay, so when it comes to like singing, what has helped me a lot is just kind of like cracking a little joke or two. And I think just kind of getting the awkwardness out really helps. But I will say, honestly, first and foremost, like taking care of my wellness, like working out, exercising, making sure that I'm not too tense, breathing a lot, you know, doing cardio, just like making sure that my body is well regulated, because I feel like that is a little bit of that anxiety, like feeling tense and not allowing yourself to just move and get that out in a healthy way. So that helps me so much, like especially the day of an event. I'm for sure going to the gym beforehand. I'm for sure getting cardio in. I'm for sure drinking a lot of water. Like, you have to take care of your body because it is already going to feel so many things. Your brain is going to be moving so fast. So I try to always work out beforehand and just like continue to stay active in that way. Probably like a little drink, you know, I take a shot, like shot a glass, you know. But I'll say, like, definitely for this last time performing, like being with the band is a different level of comfort that I've never felt on a stage before. Like, I feel like we were all collectively feeling a little anxious, but we had all trusted ourselves because we knew we were working so hard in what we were doing. And like, oh my God, you guys have no idea. We were literally rehearsing like after work, tired as hell. Sometimes it would run over and like we were just there and we were doing what we needed to do. So that moment felt so special, but we were all feeling that together. That's a level of comfort that I hadn't felt being on a stage before, performing. But with me singing for so long and just continuing to get that practice, going to open mics, getting booked for shows where I probably wouldn't, necessarily perform now, like putting myself out there, even though it feels so uncomfortable, and understanding that anxiety is really just pent up excitement, changing my mindset on what anxiety is and like what being anxious is. Like, I'm not anxious. I'm just excited. I'm just really excited, actually. Like, doing that mental work on myself has really helped. But of course I still kind of have that, like it's still there, and just acknowledging it and not trying to like, always be like, oh, I'm not anxious, or like I'm anxious and I'm just not gonna tell anyone, being open about it, because there's other people are anxious too, like, so just being real about it, working out, taking care of myself, a little drink, help with the nerves. But truly, I don't need that. But yeah, just doing all the things to make sure that you're acknowledging it and tackling it in a healthy way. Like, that's what I try to do my best at. Yeah.
A little thing too that reminds me of what you're saying at that Prism set. People would ask me, they're like, "Oh, how are you feeling? Are you nervous?" And I think it's important to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Because I would say, yeah, like I gotta cue these drum tracks.
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared I'm gonna mess up.
That was a lot of pressure.
I was like, I'm scared I'm gonna mess up these drum tracks, so I'm kind of anxious. And people would be like, oh, and they like try to kind of think of something to do to make me feel better about it. But I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, I'm acknowledging it. It's there. But sometimes you gotta just acknowledge that feeling and recognize it. And even if you can't make it go away, just naming it.
Yeah. And especially something for me that I started doing a while ago that has really helped me is because I also have a lot of anxiety. But most of the time, especially when I'm doing something that is like fun, but like nerve-wracking, like a performance, I would say. I've never done a performance before, but like something along those lines where it's like something that you're looking forward to, something that you've worked on, but it's still like a nerve-wracking thing.
Yeah.
What I like to tell myself is like the feeling of like the anxiety or the nervousness is the same feeling as excitement.
Exactly.
It's just like depends on which lens you're looking at it on.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's like just good to be like, oh yeah, I'm a little nervous, but I'm also excited.
Yeah.
Like it's just makes the whole process a lot easier.
It does.
And being like, oh my god, I'm so nervous, this is gonna be terrible.
Like, why are you gonna overthink it? Like, no. And it definitely, like, imagining everyone in their underwear does not work for me. Like, I just can't imagine that amount of people in their underwear. Like, that just never works for me.
It's
like,
weird that became the go-to advice.
you know, imagine everyone naked. Like, why would I want to do that?
Yeah, that makes me more nervous.
I literally
actually.
like, I don't like, no. So yeah, it never works for me. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna acknowledge that I'm anxious and I'm nervous and just, you know.
Just one freaky person was like, I just imagine them with their underwear.
You know, and then somebody just ran with it. Like, just imagine them in their underwear, knowing damn well.
Somebody told me about
And though someone who heard that, they were like, I'm
gonna run with that.
You're cooking.
You're a genius.
You're cooking with that one, my G.
Like, whoa, no.
I don't think I've ever actually tried that trick though.
Legitimately, no.
I've never actually.
No.
I think definitely me being super nervous, I tried it and I just could not imagine anyone in their freaking underwear. Like, I just did not want that for me. like, where do we get that from? But yeah.
Another thing that I also wanted to ask too was all these things that you do, like, you know, balancing life, balancing work, balancing your creative projects and everything, and going to school and whatnot. Like, how would you describe like your personality? Is it very type A, type B? How does that help you in the projects that you do?
Ooh, honestly, I don't really know as far as like type A, type B, what my personality is. I definitely feel like I'm a soft lover girl on the inside, but on the outside, with everything that I do, I kind of have to be a little rough around the edges. I feel like people that really know me know that I love to play. I love to joke. I'm really goofy, but when it gets down to like business, I get to business. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that work hard, play hard type thing. But a lot of the play that I do is really fun for me. I've been able to kind of make what I do fun, like going to other people's events and kind of, you know, supporting my people. And then once it's time for me to get to work and I'm doing those things, they come and they have fun. So it's kind of like interchangeable in that sense, where we go to each other's events and we support each other. We do things like this together and it's fun, but it's like more work for you guys and it's more fun for me. I think us being artists, like, we get to interchange that and it just combine it, and it's just like a fun thing. Like,
And then when you have your podcast, then you can have us on.
Exactly, you guys are gonna have so much fun.
Are you making a podcast for real?
I should, I mean, I'm a yapper. You guys interested in what I have to say?
I think you have the personality for it. You have the
network.
Yeah, you have the contact book for it for sure.
But what would I be doing? Like,
You have to start and
Yeah,
find
you just gotta
out.
start. You gotta find out.
welcome to my podcast, guys.
This is the juice box. You know, we got some.
I'm gonna be like, so this is what I got from Trader Joe's today. You guys want to see it? And then I'm gonna ASMR everything.
The lime echinacea sea salt.
Gonna be like, look at these chips, and I'm gonna like pop them open, and they go everywhere. Like,
Oh.
yeah, we'll see about that. I might leave it to you guys.
And so be it. But speaking of podcast and podcast questions specifically, I have a question that I like to ask towards the end of a podcast, which is, what role does love play in your life?
Now, I personally try my best to move with love every day, probably except when I'm driving. So
It's hard.
you guys don't want to catch me on the road, okay? I don't drive fast anymore. I drive like a grandma. But if you honk at me, anyways, that's besides the point. Yes, I try to move with love with everything that I do because I just feel like I try to treat people in situations the way that I would want to be treated. Um, and I just think that truly, like, as cliche as it is, life is just really short, you know? And sometimes I do kind of get in my head of like, what if I don't see this person again? And I try to just stay in the moment with things like laughter with my friends and my family and stuff like that. Like, sounds so corny, but I'm just like, dang, like, what if I don't have this type of experience again? What if something happens to me? Like, let me just try my best to move with love. So I feel like love is just moving with care, having care for yourself, having care for others. And like I was telling AJ earlier, like, I just think that accepting people for who they are, accepting yourself for who you are, where you're at, you know, and just being able to one, have discernment for what you need and what that person needs, and just also not being so judgmental. Like, we don't have to be so judgmental of each other, and just understanding that all the extreme emotions you feel are like love deep down in there. Like, when you extremely hate someone, you have to love them first. Like, when you're really sad about something, it's because you have some love for, you know, what that is. So I think just realizing that there is love in everything, and remembering that, and just trying to stay grounded in that and rooted in that, in love. Yeah. So it's love everywhere.
Yeah. Move with love every day. There's love everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Thanks, man.
All right. And then
Yeah,
another question every guest gets is, it's a little, are we? Okay. A little time capsule, a little message to your future self. You're talking to Aja in 2026.
A year from now.
Yeah. What do you want to say to yourself, to that person? If you have any reminders for them, if you have anything you want to put in a little box and mail it to yourself in the future. And then I can clip it and send it to you next year.
Oh my God, that would be so nice. Should I look into a camera when I say
this
it?
one.
This one? Okay. Me, Hegora. I'm so proud of you for staying consistent and being grounded in who you are and not taking no shit, you know, but also being loving and moving with love, like we spoke about, and being vulnerable, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and yeah, just being really consistent and grounded. I'm proud of you because look at where you're at now. Look at where you're at. I know you up there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm too silly, but yeah, that would be it.
And what do you think Aja from a year from now would want to tell you?
Ooh. Like, sit down somewhere. Because I think because I have such big goals for myself, I am always on go. I'm always on go. And like, that's why I say when I have those little moments where I can just sit and like do my cute little cutesy things, I really like hone into that, and I will not talk to anyone, and I'll just, you know, I have to regroup. I don't get too much of those moments right now because I have a goal, I have a vision, I know what I want for myself. And so I'm starting to understand why like our parents and like our older aunts and uncles and stuff are like, you're supposed to be tired now. You can rest when you're old. I get it now because we have so many things that we want to accomplish. And it's like, yes, we do have time, but also, I'm getting really close to 30, and somebody told me that the 30s was like the 20s with money. I need to feel that. So, so yeah, I have so many goals, so many things that I want to accomplish. So, but sometimes I do need to sit down and just like embrace it, like sit in it, you know? So
sit with the sit down,
you know?
Do you think future Aja is telling you like, just like sit down somewhere, like things will come with time?
Yeah. Like just have patience. It's coming. You're doing the work. Little things at a time. I try to do everything at once.
Yeah.
Guys, literally when I get home, sometimes I fall asleep on the floor. Like sometimes I fall asleep on the couch, and I just like, I'll wake up and I'll be like, where the hell am I? And then I'll go right back to sleep. Like, it's bad. Like,
well, you said earlier, you work hard, play hard, but you gotta rest hard.
Trust and believe my body makes me. Like, yeah, my body be like, girl,
We
it's
be
sleep
resting.
time. Yeah. So, but yeah, I want to get better with that. Like, just doing little things at a time. And I don't have to do everything today. Like, you know, and just getting more consistent with that type of schedule, you know? Yeah. So,
It's just slowly stacking that evidence
yeah,
to prove to yourself that it's like, yeah, like things will happen.
literally.
And it's like, I've proven to myself that I'm the type of person that will get stuff done.
yeah.
And just like being happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally.
Well, thank you
like
so
that.
much, Aja Iman,
Thank you,
for coming onto the
guys.
podcast. If there's anything that you wanted to say that you didn't get to say, go ahead. If not, anyone that you want to shout out.
I would like to thank you guys.
Yeah, of course.
I shouted out so many people. Oh my gosh. Who else can I think of? My mom, she's my best friend.
Aw.
And a shout out to my brother who's overseas right now. You guys keep him in your prayers. And yeah, I just shout out to my city, shout out to the creatives. Like, we're doing this shit and I'm proud of you guys, and it's only up for us. Like, I love our community so much. So I'm really grateful. Thank you guys for
Yeah,
having
of course.
me.
And where can people find you if they want to check out your music, your events, your
Yeah.
many other endeavors?
So you can find me personally on Instagram. That's all I really use. Social media is already overwhelming enough for me. So Aja Iman on Instagram. So that's AJA.IMAN. You can join the broadcast through there. It's called Tampaish. So in the bio, you can just click it and join. I cannot add you. It just doesn't let me. So join it so you can be connected. And then Tampaish also has a Instagram page. So follow that for all the updates on our events, because we're stacking up April, May, June, and July.
Ooh.
So the July one is going to be my birthday party.
Oh.
Ooh.
So it's going to be super fun. But I have a lot of exciting stuff coming up for Tampaish. So yeah, you guys stay tuned. I'm so excited. Yeah. Yeah.
That was awesome. Thank you so much again for coming on and making a beautiful song, being a part of this journey. You are incredibly talented and hardworking, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah.
Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you, guys. I'm super proud of you.
Thank
and
you.
So excited for them to hear this song.
Yeah.
Been a pleasure. Come to the listening party, March
Yes.
28th, 7 p.m., St. Petersburg, Florida, Bananas Records.
Yup.
If you're not in the Tampa-ish area, you can pre-order a CD. I'll mail you one. It's got great songs on it. Also, if you pre-order, I'll literally say your name on the last track is just us saying people's names.
We get that shout out.
You can be on there.
You can be on
You can
there.
be on the same laser disc as Aja Iman.
Exactly. Changhoff.com/pre-order to get your mixtape before it comes out. That is changhoff.com/pre-order, changhoff.com/pre-order, PREORDER. This has been Changhoff. That's Aja. That's AJ. I'm Jacob. Peace out, everyone. Let's do it.